What's up, everybody? It's Saturday. I'm out for a ride. Stopped to make a video for you. This one's going to be about a true shit hits the fan situation and why I believe there'll be no long-term survivors of that. If you look at our society, we have become people that spend most of our time inside. And if there was a true shit hits the fan situation, you may have to endure it outside. And it depends on what that shit hits the fan situation is. They keep talking a lot on the internet about nuclear war, which if it's nuclear, you might as well forget about it. Government has these huge underground bases with 100 years worth of food, 50 years worth of food, but the truth of the matter is, I think all they've made is a tomb. They're going to find them like they found the Egyptian pharaohs. You expect me to believe that a place, even with 50 years worth of food in it, if you had to stay underground for 50 years, if you go in there and you're 40, you're going to come out when you're 90. They've got to keep having babies. They've got to, they're going to need fresh air systems, clean water systems. They're going to have to grow food at some point. If you're down there and you're keeping the population going and you're having babies, 50 years worth of food for how many people? They say nuclear winter could be 50 years long. So you expect me to believe that the structures that we build are going to last for 50 years with no flaws, nothing happening? Being underground, you got to have that air coming from somewhere. It's got to be filtered. What if that breaks down? What if your fresh water system breaks down? Maybe you have parts to repair it a couple times, but what if something happens? You can be down there underground dying. And humans being underground with no sunshine and no contact with nature, if they did last 50 years, what are they going to be when they come out? Will they be some other form of human, some humanoid creature? How could you live like that? I don't see it happening. I could be wrong, but I don't see that happening. If it's something like EMP, whether it's caused by nukes detonating in the upper atmosphere, some kind of sun event that causes an EMP on Earth and shuts down all the power. Now you got no heating, no cooling, no refrigeration, all the things that this society has become dependent upon. No electricity means, a big adjustment in life. And hell, the internet goes down. People can't, their cell phones don't work, their cars don't work, their lights don't turn on, the water don't come into their house. What are they going to do? We can have everybody outside. Think about how many people are just in the United States alone. The United States is a vast landmass, but once the food in the grocery stores is gone, what then? Because the so-called experts say, within 3 days of a true shit hits the fan event, within 3 days all the grocery stores will be empty. That's grocery stores, dollar store, anywhere where there's food, medical supplies. What are you going to do? Once that food is ate up and there's no more being produced, how many people have a true understanding of nature? How many people can forage for food? How many people know wild medicinal plants? You get an abscessed tooth. There's no doctor to go to. There's no medicine for it. Do you know wild medicinal plants? That used to be common knowledge way back in the day. Like in the days of the West, there was still a lot of people that knew stuff like that. And there is still people today, but not enough. That knowledge is not handed down. My grandparents didn't hand any of that knowledge down to me. I don't see any long-term survivors from a true shit hits the fan event. I don't think people can make it. I don't know how they're going to make it. They might survive short term, but long term, everybody's not a doomsday prepper. And staying in your house for 5 years, really? You think you're going to stay in there 5 years, 10 years, 20 years as your house falls apart and you got nothing to repair it? I don't see it happening. Long term, I say over a long period of time, everyone dies. You know, I have a lot of knowledge in survival and bushcraft, but I don't even think that I would make it long term. I mean, one little thing goes wrong and you're done. You're just finished. I mean, you fall, break your leg, compound fracture. Where's the doctor? What hospital are you going to? How are you going to make it? Unless you got a doctor on your team that can, set bones and perform surgery, what you going to do? You're going to die. That's what you're going to do. You watch all these survivalists on YouTube, but if you'll notice when you're watching them, if they're making food, it's food they brought from home, food that was bought at a store. How many of them are out there, truly foraging for food and killing wild game? And that's the other thing. There's not enough game left, because we've controlled the population of every animal on this planet. The deer. Let's just take the deer, the most common thing that people would probably try to hunt. We've controlled that population. It would be used up quickly. Once the store food runs out, people will try to, kill squirrels, rabbits, deer, but after a while, they'll just wipe them out. There's more of us than there is of them. They can't repopulate fast enough. We would consume everything. Water's another problem. Our water's polluted. I mean, the surface water on Earth, I looked it up the other day, it's like 3% of the surface water on Earth is fresh water that's, drinkable. But a lot of that's contaminated, polluted. So what are you going to do for water? And if everybody has to make fires to boil water, what then? How fast will we burn up the limited supply of timber we have? Because we've controlled that too. We haven't let it grow. We just clear cut everything. And then we plant little saplings. But a tree takes, 15, 20, 30 years to grow to full maturity. So where are we going to end up? I mean, it just don't, in my mind, using common sense, it don't make no sense. You can't survive it long term. I mean, look at the people who were here before us, the Mayans, the Egyptians, the Romans. Their structures are still here because they built out of stone. What do we build with? Wood, gypsum board, shingles. You think that shit's gonna last indefinitely? When our civilization ends, probably within 1,000 years, there'll be very little to show that we were here. I mean, anything, the monolith that is built out of stone in Washington, D.C., that might last. But we don't build great temples out of, blocks that weigh 40 tons. We don't have that. And in those people, the Mayans, I mean, if you look at them, they were a great civilization. They had running water and everything. They brought the water to them. But they're gone. The Egyptians are gone. The Romans are gone. I mean, yeah, they're still Egyptian people. They're still Roman people. But our society's too soft. Way too soft. Spend too much time inside in front of screens. It's like today, I'm out riding, and it's cloudy, little wind going, a little cool, but I ain't seen but maybe 10 people out on their bicycles. I mean, I see people out walking, but not many, not for a weekend. I don't see how we're going to survive it. We're not acclimated to our environment. We don't take care of our environment. So where are we going to be? I mean, I just don't see how we're going to survive it. A true shit hits the fan situation, and I mean, you might survive a little bit of time, but long term, nah, I don't see it happening. I mean, I guess if you think about it, every cataclysm that's come to Earth, people have survived, otherwise we wouldn't be here. So maybe somehow, some way, some people survive. Like the tribes that are still over in the Amazon jungle. You know, there's still tribes they find that have no contact with our modern society, and they're still there. They're the ones that'll survive if the jungle's still there. If it's nuclear, I think we're all just screwed. And I don't really want to live in a world after a nuclear war. Nuclear fallout, radiation, nuclear winter. If nature's gone, I don't want to be here. That's the only thing I enjoy about life is nature. So I just don't see any common sense way that we all survive it. Being underground is not where I want to be. I don't want to be underground. I want to be, underground for 5 years, 10 years or more. I don't want to live under the ground, never see the sun, never breathe fresh air, never get to look at nature. I can't live like that. All these people, they talk about building bunkers. I don't think you're building a bunker. I think you're building a tomb. I don't know. I just wanted to share my thoughts on this and get your opinion of, people trying to survive long term, because I just don't see it happening. I don't know how it would happen. I've thought about it a lot. I roll over different scenarios in my mind all the time, thinking about it. I don't see how it's going to happen. I don't know how they're going to do it. I'm really thinking that this year there's going to be some type of event, because everything seems to be going really bad. I mean, it doesn't even have to be an EMP or nuclear. It could just be our climate. I was watching the weather this morning, and they were showing, I think it was Wisconsin. There was a tornado there, a pretty, like an EF1 or EF2, but they were telling how there's never been a tornado there. I believe it was Wisconsin. Since they started recording weather history. They showed the areas where tornadic activity has been, and it's never been there. But now suddenly it's there. You watch the hurricanes that are coming, to Florida and stuff every year, and they're getting bigger, they're getting stronger. Our two currents, the AMOC and the Gulf Stream, they're slowing down. They're messed up because of the amount of fresh water going into the ocean. This is real shit. Scientists are reporting on this. I'm no climatologist, but I'm smart enough to pay attention to the world I live in. They say if the AMOC stops and the Gulf Stream stops, it'll start like an ice age. And how are we going to survive that? And how do you carry enough gear with you to survive if our climate's so messed up that one day it's 50 and the next day it's 20 below zero? You got to have enough equipment with you to survive those extreme temperatures. That fluctuation in temperature mess you up. Things are not looking great for our society. And I always hope I'm wrong. I hope nothing happens. I hope, somehow, some way humanity finds a way to solve all of our issues peacefully. This talk of nuclear war is just stupid. The people in charge that are even talking about that are just dumb. I guess they're ready just to, make it their choice to kill everybody on the planet. It's really kind of unnerving sometimes when you think about it. I mean, it's nothing to worry about. You can't do anything about it. If one of the idiots in charge of a nuclear arsenal just decides to launch, I mean, what are you going to do? You can't stop it. I mean, you might as well live your life and enjoy it. Well, you can. I mean, I got kids. I love my kids. I don't want to see them end up in a nuclear war zone. That would be freaking horrible. And I also worry about, as I'm aging out and I'm getting closer to death, what kind of world are they going to be left with? Is it going to be just mass pollution everywhere? Tainted food, tainted water. As it is right now, our food is full of sugar and all kinds of bullshit. I was reading the other day, bottled water, like in a plastic bottle. Now everybody's got microplastics in their system, clogging up your fucking arteries and shit. It's like everything we do just leads to worse and worse shit. I think it's because we're, as human beings, are stupid. We were given everything. We were given a perfect planet, you know, to live on with everything we needed. And what do? We destroyed it for the almighty dollar. I don't know. I just think we're headed for bad times. And it really sucks. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully something happens for mankind that levels everything out. I just don't see it happening. We just seem to be getting worse and worse and worse. Always at war, always conflict. Spend so much money creating ways to harm each other, but it won't take the same time and resources and great minds to find ways to live together as a global community, like the whole earth living together, helping each other. You know, it's like everybody wants all these resources, but we can't share. We can't find a way to share and work together. Spend billions of dollars, you know, building big research facilities, paying scientists, you know, huge salaries to find a way. I want you to find a way to kill these people in this other country, a virus you can give them, or some kind of, you know, really bad shit that'll just kill the shit out of them. Why? Why are you doing that? Why don't you use that same time and those resources and those great minds to find a way to help everyone? Why can't we get along? Why can't we work together? I don't understand humanity. I think that's why we're never going to be the advanced civilization we think we're going to be. I mean, every civilization has its time. And there's a lot of civilizations that came before us that I think had way bigger and better technology than we had. I mean, they still can't figure out how they moved those giant blocks to build the pyramids. They don't have a definite answer. And there's holes in every theory they come up with. And there's civilizations built on top of civilizations. I was watching a documentary the other day. They said there might have even been a nuclear war on this planet at one time. I don't know. Let me know what you think. That's all I got for you today right now. Hopefully in the coming months, as the weather gets better, maybe we can have some more cheerful videos. I know my videos of late have been not real cheerful, but these are things I think we need to talk about. These are things happening in our society, you know. Just a lot of stuff I see that just don't set right with me. But I'm going to get off here before this video gets too long. I love y'all. Thank y'all for subscribing. Thank y'all for giving comments. Make sure you hit that like button and share my videos. Y'all have a great day.